Okay, so let's talk about this new Starbase game. So I got an overwhelming number of comments saying, Jack, you need to take a look at Starbase, it looks awesome and we think you'd like it. So I did. Now if you haven't seen the trailer for Starbase just yet, I'll leave a link down below in the description and it's rolling in the background right now. However, you're probably wondering, Jack, what exactly is Starbase? Well, let me tell you a quick little bit of information about it. Starbase is a massive multiplayer online game with gameplay focused around on building and designing spaceships and starbases. It includes exploration, resource gathering, crafting, trading and combat, which is pretty cool. The game also has a sandbox mode where players can explore the game alone or with selected friends in their own universe. I love the idea of that, as it means with an MMO, you're not stuck in the big world. I know obviously the focus of an MMO is being with everyone else, but sometimes these MMO games have some such cool, unique features you'd like to explore on your own. It's something I wish Dual Universe did, another MMO I speak about quite frequently. So yes, this is Starbase, and like I said, the reason I'm talking about it today is so many of you asked me what my opinion was on the game, so I thought I'd come here today, talk a little bit about it, give you my idea behind it, and yeah, just chat more about it and introduce you to it. I should just preface, as some of you probably are wondering, I'm not sponsored to talk about this or anything, I've not been paid by the devs, I don't actually know very much about the devs apart from maybe the China series, so yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way. But it does look a very promising game, and I can imagine myself playing this in the near future. Speaking about the devs, it is made by Frozen Byte and is published by them as well, and they've been working on this game for around about 5 years, I think, so it's not like they're just announcing an early access thing and asking you for your money. It's not even available to buy yet, or Kickstarter or anything like that. It's been in development for 5 years apparently, or 3 to 5 years, and they've now announced it so they can show it off in its building stages. And so far, their communication about the game is so effective. I've been watching his feature videos talking about, what they're going to be in it. They've got the Starship features which came out today. I'll include that down below in the description, which shows you how, the game's actually being built and how you can build your starships in such great detail. And that's one of the things that draws me to this game. The other thing is the destruction element of the game as well. So you're wondering, Jack, what do you mean by that? Destructible environments in video games is something that brings me to Star games all the time. Space Engineers is my lead game I play with quite a lot. What drew me to that game was the fact I could blow up my ship seconds after building it. So the fact Starbase has a destructible environment with voxel and fracture damage and an in-depth simulation, I love it already. So basically it says here, the environment in Starbase is fully destructible, meaning everything can be destroyed or disassembled with the right kind of tools and weaponry. And it also includes an in-depth physics simulation. And obviously there's tons of building elements inside the game as well. You've got your generators, you can build your own ships, or you can apparently take blueprints of prefab ones, which is quite nice. So whether we're going to see a player blueprint system, where players can submit their own builds so others can download them. Maybe it's going to have Steam Workshops for, because it's on Steam, so it would make sense if it's going to be on the Workshop. I'd like to see that. There's also force fields, different mechanics. I say combat is a big element of this game as well. And currently a lot of people are comparing this like a Space PlanetSide 2, and I've played PlanetSide 2 for years. And I'm like, yeah, this is really cool. I want to see more of this. So the game definitely draws my attention for, the building factor and also the warfare factor as well. I love games where I can blow my friends up as well, because in Space Engineers, you can typically find me attacking someone. So therefore, having these massive scale wars, if I could do that in a server of my own, or my own universe, I guess you could call it, I would love it. One of the things I have an issue with the Space Engineers at the moment, which you say is my lead game, is we can only have servers of 32 to 64, and putting a server to plus 32 is a nightmare because it'll crash. So having a bigger server where we can all play this game together would be amazing. Raiding ships, blowing up each other's star bases, working together to build giant fleets. I love it. It's basically what I want Dual Universe to be, but Dual Universe is still heavily under an NDA at the minute, so we can't quite explore that or talk about it just yet. But still, Starbase is looking very promising. You're probably wondering, Jack, what other features are there in the game? Well, let me tell you more about them. So obviously online multiplayer is a big thing. You play interactive online with thousands of players. Yep, take note, thousands of players. You get to join factions and more. You can start shaping the Starbase universe with fellow robots by joining and working for factions. I do believe at some point you can, build your own faction, but there is a big element of the game where you can take part in the battle between the Empire and the Kingdom. That's like the 2-player factions currently going on, or they're controlled by the devs themselves and you can join them. But I do believe you can make your own one at some point. Now, this is an interesting thing here. Success in Starbase is not measured in hours played or in an endless grind, but the endurance of each player and their ability to work together, which is pretty interesting. So it doesn't mean you have to grind this game constantly. It means you have to work together with people side by side to, succeed in this game, which I think is going to present an interesting game mechanic, to be honest. Now, build and designs, obviously here, you can design your own starships and things like that, which is quite cool, and I'd love to see more of that. And obviously we've got exploration as well. Now, we've not fleshed out the combat or trading just yet, but exploration is here, and you can explore the infinite universe and gather resources. Hopefully it is actually infinite. You get to explore the vast universe to discover stations, social hubs, and new raw materials. Social hubs is a cool thing. Maybe we can see trading stations or something like that. I love checking out like games that are upcoming like this, particularly because I make this video and then, in a year's time we can look back at how far the game has come. And I think it's going to go far. I've been sat in my Discord chatting to a few people. It's really interesting, so I can't wait to see more of this, to be honest. Like I say, the Voxel Destruction technology very much reminds me of Space Engineers, so I am excited. A little bit more about Starbase. It's developed by Frozen Byte's internal game engine that is custom built for conquering space. Reminds me of Space Engineers, which was also developed by an internal game engine. Now, it enables the use of extremely challenging combination of voxel and vertex technologies in the game. Yes, that does sound like alien language, but basically the modern engine has been built specifically with Starbase in mind, and the engine's architecture is designed to handle all the quirks of simulation, damage, building, the player amounts of an ever-growing universe to match the challenges in the vision of the game. So yeah, that's complicated, but it does sound cool. Now, Starbase has been in secret development for 5 years, there you go, it's 5 years, not 3, without restraints, and the development will continue until the game's bold vision is achieved. In the ever-expanding space, the scale can range from a unit of 1 bolt to a massive space station. That's quite an important sentence there, because 1 bolt can make the difference, in your giant ever-expanding space station. And I like the idea of that. It's kind of like in other games where you take 1 brick out and it all falls down. That's kind of how I look at it. You got exploration missions with varying journeys to nearby asteroid fields, to salvaging ship debris, and eventually to other galaxies. That's interesting, so other galaxies. Maybe we can traverse an entire fleet there. Now, early access, obviously this game is going to be in early access, so Starbase Early Access will introduce the players, the pioneers, to a new galaxy that they can begin to explore from a bunch of huge stations, the mega stations. Located at the orbit of a single planet, as a player eventually settles the entire orbit, they can find ways to travel to a planet's moons, and someday to other planets and different star systems. It's not mentioned whether we can actually go down to these planets, but that's going to be interesting to see, because planet exploration is a big thing inside games. Early access will allow players to explore, buy and modify spaceships from social connections, and earn money by gathering and selling resources. The players can start building their home stations at a mega station, and begin the exploration and creations of Starbase universe together with the developers. So it looks like the developers are going to be playing side by side in a way, which is interesting to say the least. Now, regarding early access, they don't have a confirmed date of when early access is going to start, but they do say 2019, and one of the developers I think said, our release date depends on not only how we feel about the game and how any pre-alpha tests go, but also how well, for example, wishlist amounts progress. We really aim for 2019. So they're kind of asking people to add this to a Steam wishlist, so you don't have to buy it or Kickstarter or anything like that, but if you'd like to see it, apparently you can add it to your Steam wishlist, and that, helps communicate with the devs on how much of a demand there is for the game. So far, I've seen quite a few outstanding comments about the game. I've not seen many massive YouTubers cover it just yet, but it's certainly catching attention very fast. They release it just before E3 comes around the corner this week. That's something down to know. Anyway, I think that kind of wraps it up here today. I am very excited for Starbase and can't wait to watch this project with great anticipation, as I think it's going to be a game I would find myself spending a lot of time in. Particularly with you guys as well, as I love playing with my community, and if this is a game we can insert ourselves in and build massive empires like the Redwood Empire, I definitely could spend a lot of time in it. In the meantime, I've been Captain Jack. I'd love for you to tell me what you think of Starbase down below in the comment section, so make sure to do that. Again, I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that, I just want to talk about it because I find the game interesting, and on the height of E3 this week, I'm going to be spending a lot of time talking about upcoming video games. So on that note, like I said, I've been Captain Jack. Thank you for watching, I will catch you next time. Goodbye.